Podman.
Yeah, a little yeah, Podman.
How are you? How are you, Podman doing tonight?
Been doing
Dude,
okay.
I'm doing good. Still under the weather. Um,
Man, you got to kick that. You've had that since last pod.
Yeah,
yeah,
stop
I've had it
being
like
sick
a whole
already.
6 days at this
Dude,
point.
bullying you.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I'm taking the Tamiflu like they told me to. It's just not working. I don't know what the deal is, man. But I'm getting better. I'm still drinking water. I actually may have to get a little bit of refill at some point soon.
Yeah,
But
never a bad thing
just
to be
water.
hydrated. So I'm drinking a Coors Light Silver Bullet
That's
for the
right.
evening. Trent, you're drinking water. Reed, you got something to drink tonight?
I got water, probably. I might get another pop, not sure. We'll see how it goes. See how the night takes us.
Nice. Nice.
That's good stuff. Hey,
Well,
there was a forest fire around here recently.
Oh, that's something only you could have protected them from, Seth. Why didn't you stop them? Why didn't you save them? They said it. Only you can prevent forest.
That's what they said. And recently, I talked about on the last podcast how I drove like 30 or 45 minutes to go pick up something for Facebook Marketplace. One thing I didn't leave out is how kind of eerie it was to like drive through previously forest fired area. Like it's all like black and burned on either side of the road. It's crazy.
That is crazy. Like an uncontrolled burn, right? And like not an on purpose fire.
It might have been controlled at one. No, I don't know what caused it. I think it's just been dry, and then I don't know. Sometimes things just spontaneously combust, I guess. But like they had to close down like a big road for a while, and like, but yeah. Anyway, so I drove through the remnants of forest fire. Pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I remember when I first moved out to Seattle, there was a lot of forest fires kind of going on in Wyoming and eastern Washington and eastern Oregon and stuff. I saw a lot of that stuff too. It was weird. It's kind of like, yeah, it's creepy.
Yeah. You turn your brights on a little bit, just kind of make sure you can see a little bit farther out,
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of
Well, I mean,
creepy.
luckily
Like
for me, it was the middle of the daytime, but
yeah,
it's
it's the middle of the daytime for me too. But
Turn them shits on regardless.
kind of creepy when I showed up to buy the Facebook Marketplace thing, and they were like, "Who's Gloria? She's been dead for 10 years." I'm kidding, that didn't happen. But you can go listen to the last pod to see what happened when I tried to buy something on Facebook Marketplace, and you can listen to the next pod where you'll hear about our book club update,
That's right.
which we're starting as a segment on the pod next week, I guess. We're talking about the Maltese Falcon.
Falcon.
Caw!
Falcon.
That's my falcon noise.
Maltese Falcon.
Falcon. Yeah.
What is the Maltese Falcon, man? We need to talk about this really quick.
Spaceship.
While we're talking about the Maltese Falcon, I do want to say my girlfriend Jill, she's never really seen Star Wars before, and whenever she talks about Star Wars, she talks about the Millennial Falcon.
Nice.
Which I think is kind of funny. At the Millennial Falcon. So
I was more of a fan of the
Gen Z,
the Z wing.
the
Gen Z wing.
the baby boom interceptor. Yeah.
But speaking of, Maltese Falcon's book we're gonna be reading. I went and I got it from the library, right?
Nice.
You've heard our ad by now at some point. We're gonna read it. It's a mystery novel. We're gonna book club it up. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna pontificate on things. We're gonna become smarter by reading books. Okay, and we're gonna We're gonna keep it to books that we know or you may have heard of, sort of. That's the plan, because we want to read books and inform onto you something useful. I guess
Right.
something you can bring up at a dinner party.
Yes,
That's
yeah.
right,
If you
that's
reference this they made this into a movie with like Humphrey Bogart, right? So it's in the pop culture 100 years ago, but like people should know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Your
evergreen.
girlfriend or boyfriend's dad or grandpa might be impressed if you know about this. Kind of.
That's right. It's
Exactly.
Dashiell Hammett's 1930. What's the word? Mystery. It's not a mystery. It's a detective novel.
Detective
Well, I mean, it
stories
is a
with
mystery.
us.
Yeah, that is true. It is a
Where's the
mystery.
Falcon? Maybe it flew away.
Yeah,
Call!
exactly. We're going to get into it next week. We're planning on reading a certain number of pages. We haven't landed on a number yet.
We should
But we're
probably
gonna
say
read
that now.
80.
In case they want to read along. I feel like
80?
80 is a
Okay.
weird number.
I said 100 and you said no.
Okay, well, the book is roughly,
Well, I don't own the book at the
the
moment.
book is roughly 220 pages, right? Somewhere around there.
Right.
If we want to knock this out in like less than a month, we're going to need at least 75 pages.
Something that would have been funny, I don't think we can do it now that I'm bringing this up on air, but like if we just kept on saying that we were going to do this and then we never did it.
Yeah,
like a running joke.
just like everything else we've ever said we were gonna do.
Or if
We
we,
got
said
the
we were
book.
going to do it, or if we said we were going to do it, we picked out a book, we said how many pages we were going to read each week, and then each week we showed up and we pretended like we read it and we didn't read it.
Yeah, I'm just going to type it into ChatGPT. What happens in the first 80 pages?
We're going to Spark Notes our own book club.
And that's funny. Yeah.
What's
so
a
yeah, it's not
75?
exactly-
Is that better? You know, is there a there's your table of contents in here?
Yeah, the chapters will probably be a better. How many chapters is it, Reed? You have that?
get us to 75 pages and then flip to the closest chapter mark.
Yeah.
But while you're looking for that, it is a detective novel. Sam Spade is the detective. He's hired by the fragrant, according to Goodreads, the fragrant Miss Wonderly to track down her sister who has eloped with a louse called Floyd Thursby.
Can I pause this here? What fragrance do you think she's going to have?
Dude, it's 1930. It's gonna be like just roses.
Perfume and cigarettes.
Well, I like that.
Yeah.
It's a combo. But yeah, maybe they weren't too advanced with their notes of Santal and
Right.
OUD. That's a common scent too. I don't know what that is.
Yeah, the eau de parfum.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see.
The eau de toilet. Okay,
Yes.
so we're gonna read up to chapter 8. We're gonna read through chapter 7, which gets us, which is 72 pages.
Nice. That sounds
All right.
good.
72 pages, chapters 1 through 7. You've got homework if you want to read this with us.
Yeah.
You must.
We're going to have
But-
an AR test at the end of all this.
Yeah, you better learn how to shoot this stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I went to the library though also, and I got some fun stuff. So if you go to the library, you should get some books that are kind of fun and easy to read. Like I got these fucking Deadpool comic books because I like the movie. Maybe I like these Deadpool things where he's gonna go kill some people. Little book, be kind of fun.
Yeah, nice, dude.
I also got The Last of Us, the show, the game,
Last of
remastered.
Us to show the game.
Uh,
The game to show the game.
the game, the show, the
I
game.
forgot that you can check out video games from a library. That's
I
sick as
can.
hell.
Can you go get your library card?
Trent
Brought to you
probably
by
can.
libraries.
I probably can't. Based on geography.
And I also got Jujutsu Kaisen game, which would be
Nice,
cool.
dude.
And in case if I like this book, I'm liking this reading stuff again. I also got Murder Your Employer #1, The McMaster's Guide to Homicide by Robert Holmes.
Rupert
Okay.
Holmes. There you go.
R.L. Stein, author of Goosebumps and inspiration of Foosebumps. A college with degree in homicide, only Rupert Holmes could make murder laugh out loud funny. This book isn't clever, it's fiendishly clever. And the twists and tricks, endless surprises make me want to sign up for another semester. So maybe, or maybe not, who knows? Maybe I tap into it, maybe it just sits there. But it is kind of funny. It's got a funny name. I checked it out from the library. You can do that too. Go get yourself a library card.
PSA, yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah, man.
Support your local library. You're paying
While
for
you're
it.
at it, yeah, call your congress people too in your city and just say, hey, give more money to the library. Say whatever else you feel too while you're on the phone.
Yeah. Tell them. You probably some other shit that you got on your mind since you've already called them. You're already there. You might as well go just let everything out because when are you gonna call them again?
Yeah. What else have you seen on the news or whatever that you're not happy with? Just let them know.
Yeah. Don't let us know.
Please don't. Save it for somebody else.
You're a congressman.
Whose job is to listen to this. But in my ripe old age of being 27, I think I've become everybody's worst nightmare. Like you don't want to get me on the phone. And one thing that is freeing to me, right? I did work for the government for a period of time. I had to answer phone calls and stuff. From concerned people who had issues with the way that things were. If you're concerned about this is a PSA, I guess. If you're concerned about calling in and like, oh, I got to make sure I stick to the script. No, you don't. It's their job to listen to you, and it's your right and your responsibility to call them and tell them what you think. First and foremost, right? You vote for the people who you like, but second, you complain to the people whether you like them or not to make things the way that you want them to be. And if you're not put together and don't know, like, I need to say to vote on this bill or not, doesn't really matter. Just say, hey, you're doing a shitty job and you could improve. Or, hey, you're doing a really great job. I like the stuff that you're doing. Keep it up.
You should do this more.
Yeah.
And do that less.
Call them. They got people they got people answering the phones. They got answering machines. Give the library more money. Fix the pothole. Whatever. Let them know.
That's right. Rent control. Give me rent control, please.
Yeah. This is why people come to us, because we talk about books and we talk about civic duty.
Being like a citizen of your community. Good old American values, reading and being a civic member.
Being engaged.
That's right, man.
You guys do anything fun and not learned recently?
No.
I've
been learned, man.
I went to a coffee shop. That's kind of that could be kind of learned if you want it to be. It could also be unlearned. Mm-hmm. Just like the people who made my drink, they made me I asked for an iced milk tea because they had it on the menu. And they get a milk tea, I haven't really been drinking coffee, so I get it, and it's more milk than tea. And I kind of got burned, not physically because it was cold, it was on ice, but it was basically just milk with a little bit of tea in it. And I need a coffee alternative, okay?
So you're talking like it's like a London fog situation, but cold, iced, if you will.
I don't know. It's called milk tea.
So it's like a boba thing.
Yeah,
I thought you were thinking of like a latte, but with tea instead of coffee.
No, it's called. I'm expecting milk tea, which is like I don't know, kind of like 60% tea, 40% milk, I think, or like more 80, 70. More tea than milk than it is milk than tea.
Yeah.
So anyway, they did this wrong.
They fucked it up. It was really bad, and I'm just trying to figure out what should I be ordering now, or what should I be switching to as an alternative to coffee, because I don't be doing the caffeine. I get the caffeine-free drinks now because I don't need it. So what should I be getting here? Light caffeine's fine, 30, 40, whatever. But I'm saying.
Yeah, I was ready. I was ready for this question. I had one pulled up, but it's like probably more caffeine than a regular coffee. So
what is that? That's more caffeine.
I was gonna say like a yerba mate.
Shit, yeah, it's like an energy drink.
Like what's the brand? Guayaki, something like that.
The yellow one.
Yeah, the yellow can. Those are good, dude.
They're good. I've had them before, but it's got a lot of caffeine in it. I want no caffeine. When I want something, because you go to a cafe and got to get something. You go to a coffee shop, you got to get something.
Well,
yeah.
Am I gonna order hot chocolate? I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of tough.
Hot chocolate, I think, is one of the good things about coffee. If you're drinking a drink that's mostly coffee, is it's like calorie free. So if you're getting hot chocolate, that kind of throws that out the window a little bit. It's like I'm getting something, it's not giving me caffeine, and it's giving me a whole bunch of like sugar. So I don't know if that might not be something that factors in, like whatever. But like something like a hot tea, if you're into hot tea, they'll have a caffeine-free one. So that could be a move. And they won't always have the same thing. So this is a cool thing, I guess, too, is like every place you go, it's like they might have a different brand or different like chamomile orange or chamomile lemon or whatever, some different blends too. But you're making kind of a stank face at that, so I'm
thinking about it. I
want to just throw this question out there, man. If you're going to a coffee shop, what are you looking for if not coffee or tea?
Ambiance, but I don't want to eat.
Yeah.
You want to drink, you don't want to eat.
I don't want to eat, but I want to, be alone with other
Right.
people. I want to be
Dude,
doing like
most
you
of the
do some
coffee
email or
shops,
whatever.
most of the coffee shops that I go to around here, they also have like a full fridge of like liquid death.
That
So you
sounds
could
that
go
sounds
sparkling
deadly.
water. You could go with sparkling water, dude.
Yeah, but like that's not I'm at the hot drink place, or I'm at like I'm at
Yeah,
the I want to get like a thing that's there. If I'm trying to
right.
fit in here. You know,
Yeah,
at work I just drink hot chocolate though, because like
Hmm.
they have it, and I'm not gonna drink tea because I've had some of the bad teas. There's just been some shitty ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's been that. I had bad milk tea, coffee alternative. Ask for a friend. The segment.
You could do. I mean, I feel like there aren't that many more options. You could
No, I
do
don't think
if
so.
you're not doing. You could do decaf.
Yeah, then I'm just drinking shitty coffee.
yeah, man. I don't know. Apple
Yeah,
juice.
gotcha.
That's
Sounds
not
good.
bad.
Drink apple
Apple juice.
cider.
That's right. Cider. Yeah, there you go. A lot of coffee shops have beer.
Well, that's a totally different vibe.
That's funny. Yeah, man. Yeah, well, let us know. I don't know if we've already shouted out our socials. We're at FK the Pod everywhere and also gmail.com. FKthepod@gmail.com. Let us know what you
That's
might get
right.
at a coffee shop if you're not getting either food or caffeinated drink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be interested to hear. But I think tea is your play. I think you gotta, because sometimes you'll like it, sometimes you won't. You're rolling the dice there.
Right.
Mm.
And there's so many different teas too.
Yeah.
Sign,
that's
sign
all
myself up for
coffee,
some variants.
all coffee kind of has the same taste, right? But you can get teas that are, you know, any fucking flavor that you can think of. Pretty much.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? It feels like this episode is more cozy, right? We're talking books. We're talking
Yeah.
coffee shops.
Yeah.
We're getting into our late 20s and early 30s vibe
Not yet. Not yet.
on the show.
Young forever.
But I did want to bring it back. I guess maybe this is kind of like book club episode 0, right? We're telling everybody what the book is. We're telling them, you got to read 7 chapters. But I also want to give an update on the book series that I've been reading because I just finished it. It's the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. It's a sci-fi series. I talked about the first book when I was like halfway through it. But now I've finished all 3 of the main trilogy.
Okay. You've
and,
risen up.
I've risen. But it's an excellent series. It's like, I remember when I talked about the first book, I kind of described it as young adult and it was kind of like Hunger Games, but more sci-fi. But after the first book, it kind of blows up and is like pure sci-fi, maybe not for kids at all. A lot of violence, a lot of space warfare, a lot of people losing limbs and almost dying and kind of coming back to life and stuff and being captured and tortured. It's pretty sweet. It's a good series, full of action.
Yeah, people are getting maimed. People are getting tortured and captured and brutalized. It's pretty dope, man. You should check it out.
It's full of action, man. So the first book, Red Rising, which I talked about before, is about this character named Darrow. He's a red in his society, which is the bottom of the society. And he gets sort of taken by this quote-unquote terrorist group who turns him into a gold. In
Nice.
this process.
That's an upgrade?
Yeah, a gold is the top tier of the society.
Wow, so he goes from the bottom to the top.
Yeah, they turn him into a gold using this process called carving, which is like plastic surgery on steroids, They make him into like a superhuman, basically.
Okay.
And then he has his goal is to like infiltrate the gold society, make it all the way to the top, and topple the weird little pyramid society they have going on. And the first book is him like learning how to do that and like making his way through gold school, basically, in like a very
Old
much
school.
in the very much like Hunger Games type vibe. But then he does that. I guess spoilers. He does that whole thing. He gets through, and then after school, he gets a job with the Arch-Governor of Mars, which is where he's from. He's from Mars. I forgot to mention
He's a
terraformed all
Martian.
the planets.
He's a Martian.
He's a human. He's a human from Mars.
He's a Martian.
But he gets a job with the Arch-Governor, who's like the ruler of Mars. And he works for the Mars guy, the ruler of Mars fleet in the second book, meets the ruler of the entire society and like works against her army and stuff and tries to tries to topple them and everything. Things don't go so well in the second book called Golden Sun.
That's him.
Things end pretty poorly. He doesn't get what he needs to by the end of the second book in Golden Sun, and then he kind of has to work his way up from where he ended at the end of the second book, back in the third book called Morning Star. He has to like regather all of his space fleets and regain trust from all of his friends. And take down the ruler of the society, and it's good. It's awesome.
Are there more of them, or are there only 3?
So there's 3 in the main trilogy, and then there's a second trilogy that I don't really know much about. I just know that it starts 10 years after the end of the book that I just finished.
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Somehow
Maybe.
Red has risen again.
The
That's
red.
right.
Well, no, the red. They're probably back down.
Spoiler.
Gold rising.
They flipped it.
Red rises by the end of the third book. Red rises. Everything seems like maybe it's in a good place. Who knows?
Where was the author of this?
10 years later.
Where was the author of this book from? Are they American? Pierce?
Yeah,
Pierce
they're
Brown?
American. I don't know. Let's see. Pierce Brown.
I was just wondering, the red. The Soviets, they were red. They rose.
Yeah,
but
he was
things
born
didn't
in
go so well for
Denver.
the Soviets. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Denver, Colorado. He's only 37, man. This is like a new book series. Red Rising came out in 2014. Golden Sun in 2015. Morning Star in 2016.
So he wrote this book when he was 27.
Yeah.
10 years ago. That's pretty
crazy,
crazy.
man.
Yeah, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah, after we do a book club, we're going to do a book.
We're going to write a book each.
And then we'll have book clubs about those. That's one way to drive our sales. Get all our listeners to buy our book.
Yeah, but if you're looking for some good old-fashioned, like, dirty space war sci-fi, this is a good series, man.
Yeah.
Really
I've
good.
heard of this, but before you mentioned it, I'm more interested now that you discussed it here.
Yeah, it's like a very much like a taking down the man kind of vibe, like Eat the Rich vibe a little bit.
Yeah, Red Rising is pretty symbolic in name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Hey, and you mentioned the Hunger Games. They're still pumping those things out. I think there's a new Hunger Games book out like now.
New movie, I think, too.
Well, they have
those
a Hunger
things-
Games like every year, so they could have a new Hunger Games book every year.
Well, they ended them, sort of. Well, these
they
are all
had, like-
prequels. These are all prequels anyway. But this, I think,
yeah,
these next,
you're
at least
right.
the movie is going to be about Hey Mitch.
Yeah, well, they have some people established, so you know that Hey Mitch won the Hunger Games at some point, I think, because he's still alive, right? And so it's like that's a book already. The book writes itself. How did he end up? Where
They
he
already
is?
wrote it. They already wrote how he wins in the third one. So like, they
did
already
they?
have the end. Yeah.
Oh.
He spoiler alert. He throws the axe at the barrier. Like he fucks him up with the barrier. He gets the barrier to like ricochet an axe off like the invisible wall and then kill somebody with it.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's very cool. And then does he tell that to Katniss, and Katniss has to do that to somebody else? Like,
I
is
don't
it
know.
like a
Yeah, it's some
teachable
kind of
moment?
flashback thing.
Okay, I thought he was gonna be like, you have to use the ricochet technique. Shoot your arrow into the thing, and then it'll go back and hit, PETA or whatever. I don't know. You probably don't want to kill PETA, but
yeah, that's all I have to say about that book. It's good. I want to tell you guys all about it. I want to tell you the story, but I genuinely don't want to spoil it if you guys are interested. So It's a good book. That's
Well,
it. Good series.
yeah, the new Hunger Games, it's not that new anymore. It came out in March, but they announced the book and the movie on the same day in June of last year, and the book released in March, and the movie will release. Oh, it's actually next November. I thought it was this November, but no, it's next.
Oh, okay.
November.
All right.
Anyway,
Dude, that's something that's kind of.
Is it about Hey Mitch, or is it about
why do
somebody
you keep
else?
calling him that?
That's his name. His name is Hey Mitch.
It's like you're saying it like Hey Arnold, like
Hey Mitch.
Hey Mitch,
Hey Mitch.
Hey
Yeah.
Mitch.
Hey Mitch.
Um,
Woody Harrelson.
Yes, it focuses on hey Mitch. It focuses on his Hunger Games, which is the 50th Hunger Games.
Oh, quarter quell.
Whoa.
Yeah, nerd.
What does that mean? What do you the quarter quell?
Every 25 years, they have a special one with special rules.
Yeah.
Oh, what are the
Yeah.
special rules?
They're
different.
changes up every time. Multiplier.
Okay.
They should put a multiplier on it. Mystery round.
But no, that's something that, like, as I've been starting to read more books again, I try to, like, imagine if they would make a good movie. And I feel like Red Rising series would make an incredible movie. I'm surprised it hasn't been picked up already. But also, it's, like, pretty gruesome, so I don't know who the movie would be marketed to, you know? It could
Damn.
be, I mean, I guess it could be like a Dune situation where it's just like, it's rated R. It's not for kids, but
Or
Did you guys
TV. HBO.
yeah, it
Yeah.
could be a series. I could see it being a series. Yeah.
Did you guys see anything just a couple of days ago on May the 9th? So you know how May the 4th is a thing?
Yeah, May the 9th is something now?
Yeah, it's from Dune. It was May the 9th, Chip and Shatter.
Oh, God, that sucks.
I didn't make it up, but
Yeah, it sounds like I don't. Since you told me that, you made it up, and it's terrible. You own that. That's on you.
I didn't do it. I thought it was cool. I like Dune. Let's keep it going.
I like Dune. Yeah, I guess.
May the 9th.
May the 9th, huh?
Yeah.
What about 8? What about 7 and 8? 7 and 8 got anything?
Do we need to? I feel like 7's gonna be hard. 8 might be easier, but
Okay, go. May the 8th.
May the 8th.
Yep. That's not our job. You know, I don't know. Hey, Seth got May the 9th, so it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I did May the 9th. You guys could do the 7th and 8th.
Yeah, May the 10th. You know,
Yeah, I'm not.
beware the Ides of March.
We'll
This is
come up
tough.
with one for the Maltese Falcon.
Yeah, right. We'll figure it out once we get 7 chapters in.
Yeah. The chapter. I feel like once we get to chapter 8, we'll really start cusping on a name. You know,
Yeah.
for one of these things.
Would you guys want to be a detective? Like a hard-boiled
What does that
private
mean?
eye? They just say that a lot. I don't know. I think
Yeah,
I think it means you were probably in like World War I or something, and you're maybe a little bit scrambled because this is from like the 20s.
You're
You're
hard
not
boiled.
scrambled. You're hard boiled.
You're hard boiled. Yeah, sorry. Too many egg. Too many. You're a little poached. I think that you're a little bit shell shocked. I think is what I was looking for. You don't think you can like shoot somebody and not be affected by it. You're desensitized.
Tough and cynical.
Okay, tough and cynical.
Denoting a tough, realistic style of detective fiction set in a world permeated by corruption and deceit.
Yeah, no, I feel like of the three of us, I feel like Reed could be the best grizzled detective.
You say I'm the most hard boiled?
Yeah, you feel like you could easily be the most hard boiled.
Yeah. So in terms of other old timey jobs, what do you think that you and me would be, Trent? If Reed
that's
is
a
the
good
hard boiled
question.
detective,
Right.
maybe I'll be the fragrant heiress.
I'm the fat man. From the description, if you listen to our little promo, for the Maltese Falcon,
Be like, I don't know, you could be like a news guy. You could be like a newsroom guy, like when they're doing like the journalism, like the. I feel like I imagine an old timey journalism center of a newspaper,
Yeah,
just being like a bunch of people running around, passing papers back and forth and stuff, and like trying to,
that's good.
like pulling stuff off the stuff. You're like coordinating
Yeah.
that when you got a hat on.
You're like, give me pictures of the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're Jay Jonah a little bit.
you could maybe be like traveling salesman. I don't think they really do traveling salesman much anymore.
No, they got
Yeah.
be
It's like kind of
butcher.
an old timey thing.
I could be the supply guy. I could be like the black market guy.
Ooh, you got a trench coat, and you open up
Yeah.
the trench coat. That's good.
Looks like you could be moving a cart of. This could just because of what you're wearing. It looks like you could be moving like a rack of bottles.
Yeah.
Pushing a rack of bottles.
You know, like pushing a little big old cart of bottles around, unloading a truck or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
could be
and you
your,
two could exist in the same universe because you have to go like rough
Yeah,
them
it's the
up. 'Cause
same-
you
it's
say,
the same-
why are you pushing those bottles around?
It's the
See?
same 1930s. Yeah, we're all the same area.
I'm your,
The same
I'm your
hard-boiled
pilot-
universe.
I'm
The
your pilot
HBU.
for hire, dude. I live in Alaska, and you just call me up, and then I show up with a 2-seater plane.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you be my partner O'Shaughnessy or whatever. Or maybe she's O'Shaughnessy. I forget.
Yeah, I'll be the damsel. I can do that. That's funny.
You got what decade would you got a movie genre and time period combo you'd like to do? I'd be down for when's the Cold War? I would be down for doing a Cold War action
Comedy.
or thing, or like a Cold War spy thriller, Cold War detective thing. I don't know. I feel like the Cold War would be kind of neat. I don't know why. The color profiles seem kind of neat.
Right. Are we talking
You know?
movies or books?
Movies or books, you could be
Okay.
book movies, whichever one you would
Yeah.
rather have.
I think it would be kind of fun to be like a character in like a early aughts raunchy comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, like
You want to be like super bad.
Yeah.
You
Or
want to be like a
something with
background character in Superbad, or you want to be like the cops in Superbad?
I don't know. I can't remember the last time I saw Superbad.
That was
But
just the first
it'd
one I
be fun.
thought of.
There's like a whole genre of movies that were just kind of the early 2000s that were just like stupid and funny. What's his name? That guy.
Dane Cook,
No.
Oh my God, Dane Cook. He was a big topic
Dak
of discussion
Shepard.
on this podcast a long time ago.
What's
Seth
his name?
Rogen.
Seth Rogen, yeah. Seth Rogen films. What's the other guy? He was in Moneyball.
Brad
Jonah
Pitt.
He was
Hill.
in Superbad.
Oh,
Yeah.
not Brad Pitt.
Jonah Hill. Those movies. I feel like that would be fun. It'd be fun to be in one of those.
Yeah. But wait, Reed, you were saying you wanna mix a setting and a movie type that's
Yeah, it could be on. Yeah, which one do you want? Which
to
one you're
be in
thinking?
or to make.
Okay,
if I was a filmmaker,
Whatever one you could talk
A
about.
director.
Whatever one you want to answer,
I
Yes.
think. Hear me out on this.
and more.
I haven't seen Thunderbolts Asterisk, but anytime you see a movie like Thunderbolts Asterisk, except for Captain America 1, the first one, it's always superheroes now. I want to see a superhero in like caveman times, or like superhero in like the Civil War or whatever.
Well, you got
Uh,
one.
Who?
Okay, they got a Civil War, Captain America.
They have a Civil War Captain America?
Yeah, Captain America Civil War. They got you, fam.
Okay, that was good. That was good. Different Civil Wars, or Civil War, Henry VIII, or no, superhero Henry VIII, Battle of Hastings.
You want like
or something.
you want like a medieval knight superhero.
Maybe, but I feel like I think I want medieval knight superhero. Yeah,
That'd
Yeah,
be
give me
kinda
Lord of the Rings. We put the Hulk in there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I guess they kind of had, you had those big trolls and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
And
How
all the
many
fonts.
superheroes would you need to take on? Did whatever Sauron to be a fellowship? Who do you need in your? What superheroes do you
Well-
need in your fellowship to achieve the ring thing?
I'll
You
go
can
ahead.
get better results than what they did.
I'll go ahead and say I don't think the superheroes are going to do it because the whole point was it had to be the little weaklings who did it. Because if you give the ring to Iron Man, Iron Man's putting that shit on.
What if you get a meek superhero?
Yeah, you need somebody who's weak. That's kind of I think that's the theme they're going for there.
You can have supporting superheroes who are badass.
Okay,
Yeah, there's got to be a meek one there. Robin,
But then
like
yeah, but then-
Legolas and Gimli and Boromir or whatever. They're sick, but they're not carrying the ring.
yeah,
Yeah.
right,
Okay. So
right.
you still have some poor little weakling there.
you get Madam Web in there.
You got Madam Web carrying the ring. You have Hawkeye doing the ring thing, and all the other cool superheroes are gonna protect him. I mean, Hawkeye probably would have been pretty good in Lord of the Rings. Legolas was quite good. So
Yeah.
and there was a Madam Web in Lord of the Rings too. Her name was Shelob.
Shelob.
She was that big spider lady.
Oh, quite literal Madam Web. Madam
Yeah.
Web there. Yeah. Okay.
I think she was a human at one point too. I don't know the whole extended universe of Lord of the Rings, but I think she was cursed to become evil Spider Woman. So
Tough curse.
how many? So what are you saying? How many superheroes do we need to do Lord of the Rings?
Yeah. Well, who's our Lord of the Rings hero fellowship?
Okay, all right. Well, Doctor Strange is a shoe-in for Gandalf. Right?
Yeah. Okay. Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah.
I think that's probably all you need, right? I think you just need one. Is that the
Well, yeah,
answer
but
that you're
it's the
looking for?
fellowship. It's the fellowship. You know, it's evolved now. I mean,
We're
I think
recasting, man.
I mean, I feel like Thor could easily do it alone. You just put it on top of the hammer, you whip it over there, and then you just and it's in there. You know, Doctor Strange with a little ring. You know.
Yep.
Yeah, it's too easy sometimes.
Yeah.
Maybe even Hawkeye. He just puts the ring on an arrow and he shoots that thing up in there.
We got what? Oh, can Falcon talk to birds? You got one that can talk to the eagles. We can just get the eagles ahead of time.
Then they play Hotel California, and then the movie's over. Different eagles. You know, I think
They got this. Any of them.
they'll do it. The Hulk, I think the Hulk would get overpowered. The Hulk is, I guess he's pretty strong, but I think like the 100 people versus a gorilla, 100 people are going to win. 100 people probably wouldn't be.
What about 100
the
people
Hulk.
versus the Hulk?
But like 1,000 orcs or whatever, they could take out the Hulk.
Yeah.
How many? I mean, I feel like the Hulk could take down a good amount of them.
Yeah, it wouldn't be pretty. But I think they're just churning those things out.
Yeah, out of the mud or fire or whatever. They
And
making them.
They had those big tree people who were kind of just like the Hulk. They're slower.
Yeah, but they're like, you know, they're trees. They're not the Hulk. You know.
Yeah.
They're not built to smash.
No. What's something else where we had to have a journey? Did you guys ever see Milo and Otis? What superheroes would we need to do Milo and Otis?
Milo and Otis. What the fuck is that?
It's the pug and the cat. I can't remember what to do. It kind of, I don't remember that one as much as I remember Homeward Bound.
Yeah. What kind of superheroes would we need for that journey?
Oh, we need Azatlan or whatever from Narnia. Need that guy. Need the
Yeah, that's
lion.
good.
Aslan. Let's get Buckbeak from Harry Potter. We'll get him.
Okay, all right.
And we get the
Bullwinkle from Rocky and Bullwinkle.
nice.
Need a
And
little
we get
bit
the
of comic relief.
I like that. And then we can pair him up with the polar bear from the Coca-Cola
Yeah,
commercials.
There you go.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then we got ourselves a team
Yeah.
An animal
that can bound
adventure
home
movie.
Woodley.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing's getting
We
in
get
their way.
Balto. If we had to keep it to dogs, we just get Balto in there. A crossover. Balto's the G.
Now, who would be the best detective? Batman is supposed to be the world's greatest detective. They call him.
Right.
that, at
I
least.
feel like John Jones would be pretty good also. The Martian guy.
John Jones.
Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he'd be pretty decent.
Yeah.
Tony Stark might be okay. I don't know. Maybe not.
So I just like, you know, a lot of the superhero stuff is like, let's make these superheroes fight each other. But yeah, what if they had to do something else? A lot of superheroes, if superheroes existed, they wouldn't necessarily all be fighting machines. You're going to have some who are like, yeah, I'm really good at smelling.
Yeah, I'm the best at discovering white collar crime.
I know all the prime numbers. I can add things really quickly. I can.
I'm really fast at typing.
My eyesight is crazy.
My proprioception skills are insane.
I never trip over my own feet.
I can spit 2 miles. That's a pretty sweet one, right?
I can walk and chew gum.
Yeah, so we need to get some of these guys in like settings that aren't just like modern day. You know, there's some evil alien attack or something.
This is reminding me of The Boys. There's a bunch of superheroes in The Boys that are like, I mean, they're not like the main superheroes of the show and everything, but they throw in a few of these like stupid, weird superheroes to kind of keep it entertaining, you know?
Yeah.
And they don't like do much.
No.
I don't know. They just sit around with their superpowers and like jerk off, basically.
Yeah.
So
yeah, a lot of them use their powers for sex acts in the show. Indeed.
Yeah.
So
That show's got a lot of sex in it.
yeah.
Not very prude American viewing. I'd say not good American
Right.
television like they used to make in 1930s with the Maltese Falcon.
Which we're
When did that
starting.
movie come out, man?
1950 something.
I think it was
Yeah, it's gotta be an old-
1942.
Good
Which
year.
also begs the question. There's a lot going on in 1942. You know,
Yeah, the Dust Bowl.
a war.
Are we there yet? I don't think so, right?
Yeah, we were. I think we were there starting in like 39. I think Pearl Harbor was in 39.
Oh, okay. So we were
Or
there.
no, it was in 41. Pearl Harbor 41.
It was long haul for World War II.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and then Captain America got involved, you know, and everything was fine.
Turn it around. They could have got him around earlier. You know, people are saying, why wasn't Captain America here earlier? Why didn't he show up? What about the people who were before him who didn't have a Captain America to save them? What about them? You know,
That's true.
where was their insurance? I mean, where was
Where
their
was Captain
shield?
France? You know, Captain France.
Yeah.
Or where were they?
Yeah, why didn't Captain Europe do it?
Beats me, dude. That's why we
Oh,
renamed the Gulf.
Yeah, so you guys were right about the Maltese Falcon. Came out in 1941. Actually, on Rotten Tomatoes, the movie, 99%.
Wow.
On the tomato meter or the critic review?
Let's see what it says here.
What's the thermometer saying?
Tomatometer says 99%. The popcorn meter says 91%.
That's still pretty good.
Yeah.
What's the average good reads on this thing? Or what's it called? Letterboxd, or is that movies?
Letterboxd is movies.
Isn't that funny that Letterboxd is movies?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. Goodreads says 3.87 out of
That's not bad.
112,000 ratings.
That's 3.87 out of 112,000. That's terrible.
Well, that means that's how good they thought. I think it's good that we're not doing a 5-star book. We'll have some hot takes, hopefully.
That's right.
Like, one of us could hate this book, you know?
Or some of these ratings could be like, I had to read it for school. Fuck this. This was ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Why didn't ChatGPT write this instead? I had to put this whole book through ChatGPT to make it in memes.
And I failed on my quiz because I didn't learn anything because I'm a moron.
Yeah.
And I'm just like willfully accepting that.
Why is it the Maltese Falcon and not the Ohio Labubu?
Yeah, what did the Rizzler have to say about it?
Dude, I was going to maybe read through some of these reviews of the Maltese Falcon, but people on fucking Goodreads like to type too much.
Yeah.
You should put them through ChatGPT. Summarize this.
Jeez.
Man. So what do we need to, like, or do we want to have a discussion question, or we just come in with our takes?
We'll figure. Yeah, we'll come in hot.
Yeah,
with
what
our
hot
takes. More hot takes. That's what the industry needs right now
Yeah.
at a time like this.
Time like this. That's true. We're going to have some hot takes on a 100-year-old book.
Yeah, exactly. Where it matters.
Ice cold.
So I finished Moby Dick. As I said, I'm also reading The Fountainhead now by Ayn Rand, and I anticipate they'll have some hot takes about that.
Nice.
So it'll be a while. It's a pretty long book. It's
Kind of like
700
Ayn
pages.
Rand, right?
No, I don't. I don't think so. I got to read the book, but no, I don't think so. We'll see. Compared to Herman Melville, she's a much better writer, though. I'll say that. Just a lot of like, let me talk to you about whales for 30 pages. I don't care that much about whales. I mean, I can sum up Moby Dick in about 10 words. I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Come on.
Okay, so
They don't get the whale.
well, they get the whale, but the whale kills all of them.
Including the guy? Including Ishmael?
Ishmael is the only one who survives.
Oh, okay.
But he kills everybody. He kills Ahab. So, I mean, it's like this guy is obsessed with this, and he kills everybody on his ship. I mean, that's kind of the whole thing.
So it's an allegory of chasing your dreams can, destroy people around you?
I don't think it's chasing your dreams. I think it's like being obsessed, like not being able to let go. Because he lost his leg. This whale ate his leg. But then they run into this other ship, and he's like, oh, man, the whale ate my arm. And then Ahab's like, let's go kill the bitch. And then the other guy's like, oh, no, it's fine. I don't want to fight this guy again. He ate my arm, and I'm going to go home to my family.
Yeah.
Right. And Ahab's like, no, man, I can't let it go. And then everybody dies. So.
Well, I mean, to be fair, a leg is probably way more valuable than an arm.
They're both pretty good. I wouldn't want to choose if I'd rank them.
Yeah. So if I rewrote Moby Dick and I could cut out all the parts where he just talks about whales for forever, it'd be a better book. I can't do that. But anyway, it's fine. It's good. I'm happy I read it.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, we're happy you listened. Happy birthday, Merry Christmas.